Hey, welcome back to Hard But Worth It. My name's Kirk, and this is Mitch, and we're with Icon Coaching, and we're at the GrowTECH Fest down in Chico, California. We're hanging out just outside the big room at Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, and you can hear everybody chatting around because this place is hopping right now. We're sitting here with Troy Daley, and Troy, tell us a little bit about the role you fill and the company you're with.
Yeah, so I'm the program director and co-founder of LabStart. So we're a nonprofit where we're helping diverse entrepreneurs license climate technologies coming out of the U.S. national labs and universities and helping them launch climate startups from there.
So I heard co-founder in there.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that. Like what drove you to be a co-founder in this nonprofit, movement to try to work after climate tech, and like what's the drive there?
Yeah, definitely. So kind of just fell into it when I first started in the climate tech space. Really want to do something on the entrepreneurial side. So before LabStart was doing some consulting work for the U.S. Department of Energy as well as the National Renewable Energy Lab, really focused on their tech to market and commercialization programs. How does the federal government really support all this early stage innovation that's going into climate technologies? And so it's from a lot of the learnings from a lot of that consulting work that I was doing before that me and my former boss at our previous consulting firm led to launching LabStart.
How do you spell that?
LabStart?
Yeah,
LabStart. No spaces.
LabStart. Got it.
LabStart.
Perfect. Yep.
So a lot of people, when they're coming at this question of entrepreneurship, they're wanting to do something from deep purpose and meaning. They want to solve a real problem in the world, we'll say, and they have this fork in the road where they have to choose between for-profit and non-profit. When you hit that spot, how did you make that determination?
Yeah, so when we were thinking about how are we setting up the entity as a for-profit or non-profit, ultimately decided to go with non-profit because we were in a space to do a lot more social good, and especially with the model that we were thinking about, it's really helping out these entrepreneurs at the earlier stage. We're not necessarily launching a full startup ourselves, but supporting all these other people doing that. And we really wanted to be able to access a lot of that transformative government capital in climate tech that's happening, as well as philanthropic dollars that we can be pulling in and then using that to spur innovation in other entrepreneurs that we're looking to get. So it was really a path that helped us fundraise from those different aspects.
I love that answer because a lot of times that is the question. It's an access to capital question at times. And as a nonprofit, you're able to access a whole different stream of capital, right?
Yeah.
And as a for-profit, there's other capital available, and you got to figure out what makes sense. That's cool. What did you, when you got going in this, you were doing work in consulting, and did you see a specific problem or need that this organization was formed to solve?
Yeah, so the first one that we really saw was around the technology that's coming out of our U.S. national labs. There's 17 Department of Energy national labs across the United States, get $12 billion in federal funding every year. They're idea factories pumping out 2,000 inventions every year, 1,400 patents that they're filing for. But we're only seeing 20 to 25 startups actually spinning out using this technology.
Wow.
And this is breakthrough technology that there are billions of dollars getting poured into that's going to be transformative for climate change. So there really was that gap we saw is how do we do a better job of actually getting that technology out there into the hands of the people so they can actually use it to help decarbonize industries and actually make it in the market.
Now, is it a knowledge? Like, is it because they don't know about it, so you're bringing awareness to it? Or is it because the point of entry is too hard, the barrier to entry into that space is so hard that they just avoid it and go other ways? Like, what was the challenge that you were meeting as far as starting the nonprofit to give access to that? Yeah,
I definitely think it was both of those things that you said. I think it's a lot of people don't really know about, one, don't know about the national labs, and two, don't know that it's a viable pathway to license technology from national labs. Especially in climate, there's a large growing appetite for entrepreneurship in the space, but a lot of people they're not the PhDs doing the research, and a lot of the PhDs doing the research don't have that appetite to actually go out and launch a venture. So we're kind of marrying the two ideas there. We're actually helping entrepreneurs actually go out and license. So it's been a lot of learning, speaking with different national labs and universities, tech transfer offices to see how do we actually navigate this so we can make something that's a lot more replicable to all the entrepreneurs that we're working with.
It sounds like a wide open opportunity for entrepreneurship. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. It does, since this is deep tech. It's a lot of, some of these things are 10-year time horizons from a license to actually getting it in consumers' hands.
Right.
And so it's not really for the faint of heart, but there's a lot of people who are actively trying to do that.
We have people listening to this podcast who are pre-entrepreneurs, or they've actually done something. They're looking for the next thing, and they're looking for opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you were to sell this idea, how would you invite them into it, and who are you looking for?
Yeah. So we're really looking across the spectrum for different entrepreneurs. We don't really have any hard and fast rules who are looking for. Our program's specifically designed for first-time entrepreneurs or first-time entrepreneurs in climate. And one of the biggest things that we've learned is that, especially with launching a company, it's really a luxury to have that financial independence to actually take a year off from a full-time job and actually spend the time needed to incubate and launch a startup and actually get those ideas together. So one of the things that we're providing in our program is a year-long stipend for our entrepreneurs to actually quit their job and focus on this full-time, and providing the curriculum, the access to capital, the access to networks, and access to the scalable technology that's necessary to launch the next unicorn climate company that we're going to need.
Well, that sounds enticing.
And so are you looking for them, or are they finding you? Like, it's probably a little bit of both, but like, how do they find you and know about you?
Yeah, so we've been in quasi-stealth mode for the last few years. We had a initial pilot in 2020 when this started as a side project and had one successful entrepreneur through that. And then currently having another pilot to just get some more learnings as we are fundraising for this full cohort. We're looking to launch our full cohort in the applications coming out in November of this year, with launching the cohort in March of next year. So we're just starting out now, doing a campaign of growing out to different communities, like here at GrowTECH Fest, where it can reach entrepreneurs from different walks of life, putting things out on social media through our other network partners that we're working with. So
that's awesome. So if somebody wants to apply for that cohort, how do they do it?
Yeah, so putting out the formal application this November through our website.
And what's that?
LabStart.xyz.
Okay, cool. So so in November, if this idea is resonating with them, this November they can go to labstart.xyz. They'll be able to apply. And what do they need to have prepared to go through that application process?
Yeah, so we really just want to find out who they are as a person, what drives them, and do they have that grit and determination and that hustle to actually be a successful entrepreneur? They don't necessarily have to have been a serial entrepreneur with exits. Like, have they done something meaningful? Have they actually put like their skin in the game and actually spent time doing what matters to them? And one of the other things that's part of our application is we've selected 10 to 20 technologies that are available to license from the national labs and have all the information, like the patents, the commercial information about it up, and we're having them apply with one or two of those technologies in mind, and just an initial business case. We know that's definitely going to change throughout the program. It's going to be a lot of pivots from the customer discovery, but at least we want to get a sense of how their thinkings are around a lot of that.
Sure.
Well, that's awesome. That sounds really exciting. I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah,
and thanks for spending some time with us today.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, take care, Troy.
Thank you.